Hello, my name is Natasha, and I am a member of the team at Freed Marcroft with our offices in Hartford and Cheshire, Connecticut. Today we are here with Selena and Misty. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
And we are talking about In Control During COVID. This is our segment on keeping your kids and little ones healthy, active, and engaged. And in particular, our group, us three, are talking about elementary aged children and younger. So anything really 0 to 10. So without further ado, what we're talking about today is really just built to help get parents connected and talking on the real with each other, because we're all in this going through the ins and outs of whether you're homeschooling, working from home, parenting, all of the above. It's a challenge, and when we pool our strengths together, everybody wins. So particularly what we thought would be extra helpful is to talk about a couple of different topics. And so the first one is, what are you doing with your kids that makes things feel extra special today? Most of the time, I think this is true for almost every kid, we all recognize that whenever they're doing something with us, that is their favorite thing. It doesn't matter what it is. If they're doing it with you, they're going to be really happy about that. So what's happening that's extra special there? I think Misty had something really cool that she had shared with us earlier about doing virtual classes with her little one. So Misty, how old is your son, and what are you guys doing together?
So my son is 5. He's in kindergarten, and he just started taking karate classes before COVID. And the studio had quickly converted it to online classes. So the part of the component is recorded on YouTube, and then part of it is live on a Zoom. So when he does the recorded part on YouTube, I've been taking the class with him. So he's really enjoyed that because it's something that's new to him that he really likes. But then, of course, I'm joining him. And I think he's a little impressed that I'm keeping up with him, right? So he enjoys that a lot. So, and then of course, when he does the live class and I step back, but he's liking, doing some of these physical challenges together.
That's awesome. And Selena, did you say there were a couple of things you were having fun with your little guys?
Yeah, so my son is also 5, but he is not quite in kindergarten yet. He would be starting in the fall. So he was just in preschool program. So he has an older brother who played soccer, and we actually had signed both of them up for spring soccer, which got canceled. So we go outside and play soccer together. He's usually on my team, and we verse my older son, who beat us both pretty badly the first time we played. So he loves doing that. He loves doing anything with his brother especially. But when I join in, it just, of course makes it better.
That's awesome. Yeah, similar with us too. I have a 7-month-old, a 2.5-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And 7-month-old is sort of business as usual, but for the 2.5 and the 4-year-old, they're just really loving anything that we can do together. We are a Peloton family, and Peloton, which now is offering 90 days of free classes for anyone out there. And I will send you links to any of the virtual resources that we talk about today too. So keep your eyes peeled for that, everybody who's tuning in. But they have fit family classes that you can do together. They're appropriate for ages 5 and up, but the 2-year-old is hanging out with us too and enjoying it. They do everything from family yoga to like family, what feels like you're in a PE gym class with them. The teacher is actually a gym teacher. And things like that. They're just loving family activity, anything to burn the energy and help get us to nap time is what we're enjoying the most. For sure. And so the next topic that we thought would be cool to talk about is what are your little ones doing? Something newfound that's come up since the time of basic self quarantine that they're becoming more independent with. So I think this is really great because whenever they're gaining independence, so is the parent. So what's giving you some free time that you hadn't had before? And what are they learning and growing with? Misty?
So my 5-year-old, he is an only child, and so he by nature loves to be independent. He just wants to do everything himself. But since being home with him, he's been making his lunch more often. So he really enjoys, he actually made me lunch one day, which was lovely. So he wants to use the stove, which is not independent. So that does require supervision. But he is enjoying the confidence that he's gaining in doing that. And then independently, without my supervision, he can make sandwiches and he'll put some carrot sticks on a plate, and he has kid-safe knives that he's had and used for a while. So he'll cut up some strawberries and, put his lunch together. And so to him, it's in a time when things are changing so much, I think he's enjoying finding a little bit of confidence and newfound skills. So lunch is a big one for us that he's really, mostly it gives me a break. Of course, there's the resulting mess and all that stuff afterwards with a 5-year-old making sandwiches, but perfectly fine. He's enjoying it. It's kind of a highlight.
That's awesome. And I didn't even know they made kid-safe knives. So I will hit you up for a link to share for that too, if you have one.
Absolutely.
Cool. Selena, anything independence-wise? I think you were...
independent of sleeping a lot more and eating a lot more, but I'm just gonna take a cue from Misty here, I think. And my son's favorite is peanut butter and jelly, so he could definitely tackle that on his own. It will probably make a huge mess, but that's okay.
Yeah, similarly, I haven't gone down the cooking road, but the two older brothers in my family are doing a lot better with just getting themselves ready in the morning. Like if we get their clothes out for them before, now I'm having them pick their outfits out, which is exciting, getting themselves dressed, and they're doing like little self-care independence, like brushing their teeth. They're doing really well with like just preparing for the day. Like they'll go ahead and get themselves set up with art supplies or whatever they want to do, and they're doing a lot more play together, like Selena's two are doing, which is and we're not hearing as many like screams from the other room. So it's exciting. It's good to see. And they're working together. It's like if you have an open invitation out there, like if we set up like an invitation to play, like we set up an arts and crafts, like a couple of, whether it's popsicle sticks with pom-poms to stick on them, they'll keep themselves busy there and really frees up some time, which is great. And they enjoy the independence too. So number 3 had to do with really like, what are we seeing on the screen? Usually screen time is, a little bit of a shtick, but now people are getting so innovative with things on the screen. Like Missy was talking about the karate being virtual. But I think for the kids in this age group, what's especially exciting to see is more really like developing whether it's developed learning, cognitive skills, even you'll see some apps that are coming out helping them develop more fine skills. Anything, obviously, parents are seeing lots of exercise, lots of, whether it's, and in addition, story time. So I loved what Selena was sharing us before we jumped on this call about some of the resources that her school is sending out.
Yeah, so they've been amazing. They send out an email really almost every day, a couple times a day sometimes, with different things that they're posting on YouTube. They started their own channels, so the teachers are reading stories to the kids on YouTube. So I know the teachers are really, really missing the kids every day. They did a group Zoom call with a bunch of kids from the school. He even did an individual FaceTime with one of his best friends from school that he's been in. He was actually in daycare when he was started about 1.5 years old with this little boy, and then they ended up going to the same preschool. So they did a FaceTime. It was pretty quiet. They didn't do much talking, and they shared their feet with each other. But it was still nice to see them. It was nice for him to see one of his friends. But yeah, anything the school is doing, they're sharing their activities that they did during the week with the kids, physical activities, different music and dancing, and all those different programs are all still available to him, which is really great.
Nice. Yeah. Misty, anything for you guys?
Yeah, one thing, we didn't have a lot of screen time. One thing that I know had been popular with many other kids, but we had never gotten into it, is the doodles, where you can you watch people draw and then the kid copies them and draws it. So for my son, he's never been big into drawing or arts, anything with a pencil. He's more of a gross motor skill kid. So this year in kindergarten, his handwriting has improved tremendously. So it's been great, but he doesn't want to sit and write all the time either. So now it's a real treat. I'll put on one of those YouTube videos that teaches you how to draw. And so it's step by step and he follows it. And so that's been something that's been both occupying him, also keeping him holding a pencil, and then he'll color it in after. So that's been something that is new to us, but I know many other people have been doing it.
Awesome. Yeah. And a lot of schools, our kids none of us are in elementary yet, but similar to Selena, the preschool program that my 4-year-old is in sends out every day a couple new YouTube videos of the teachers, read-alongs, exercises to do together. And then something else I stumbled upon through these emails resources from our school is free virtual tours being offered by some of the local museums and art institutions, which is happening nationally. You can really find those easily through a quick search. But in Connecticut, we've loved seeing from Mystic Aquarium. They're doing they'll feed the dolphins and the belugas, and they'll take you on a tour. And then the Connecticut Science Center also has what they call the lunch bunch every day at noon. And they'll bring out a different animal from the Science Center and talk about it and take live questions from the kids, which is really engaging and cute to see. So that's been some fun learning screen time that we had never done before, and be happy to share those links to those programs too. So guys, as we're starting to wrap things up a little bit, any final fun life hacks, house hacks, meal hacks that you've been, incorporating into daily life in your new norm now? I know Missy had a really exciting one with Post-its that I would love you to share.
Sure. It does have a curriculum that we're following, but it's not heavy in academics that he has to be on the Chromebook all the time. But what I've been doing instead, because he still loves hide and seek, hiding anything and finding it around the house is his favorite thing. And so I started doing Post-it notes all around the house. So I right now have blue Post-it notes, and to practice his sight words, instead of sitting in front of a paper and practicing them, I write them on Post-it notes. And then I put them up and he has to find them, and he recites them. And I do that with even sentences. So he practices filling in sentence structure, math equations he has to complete around the house. So he's really enjoying that. It's getting him up and moving and still learning, but he's not sitting at a Chromebook or a piece of paper doing it. And he also likes that once he, quote, masters a sight word, he gets to take it down and a new one goes up. So that's been something that's been really good. And another tip that I would say is we also have a checklist of activities, both academic stuff he's required to do for school, and then fun activities that he can do in a day. and so he needs to be occupied for portions of the day. But for me, it's been helpful that he picks what's the next activity he's going to do, as opposed to me telling him what he's doing next. And as long as it gets done, most of it, not even all of it, he's 5, but if most of it gets done, I don't mind what order it gets done in. And so he's more inclined to do it. So that's been really helpful for us.
Awesome. Awesome. Selena, any life hacks? Any last sharing?
One of the things that I struggle with even before all of this is dinners and coming up with a plan for what you're doing every night. I know both of my kids are pretty picky eaters, so they tend to not want to eat what I make for dinner and want me to make them an individual meal, which is a battle I think pretty much almost every parent has to deal with at some point. So one of the things I did when I was running out of ideas was just put out a post on Facebook that just was like, hey guys, can we share some meal ideas and dinners? And I got a lot of really great recipes and responses from people of things that they've tried. And one of the things I've done in the past is like make a list at the beginning of the week, and I can refer to that and take something out of the freezer. Or I know everybody's stocked up right now. So trying to stay organized on that end. Another thing my son really likes to do and always did like to do is puzzles. And they can be pretty time consuming. So I, have a whole bunch of them that I'll lay out just on the living room floor, and he'll go from puzzle to puzzle and complete them. And, as he does, he might get a little reward or something as he moves through all of them, and they can increase in difficulty. And it's really good for him to practice doing them, and he's working his brain, and it's time consuming, which is nice when you're working.
I love both of these ideas. I'm incorporating Post-its immediately. And Selena, I have to say, I love the Facebook outreach for meal hacks from other parents. And I am going to open up that conversation on the Freed Marcroft Facebook page too, because I think we could all benefit from a couple of, new things to put into the rotation that would help to not have to make a separate meal for the kids and the parent. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody gets sick of spaghetti. So it's nice. And there's a lot of things you don't think of. And when everybody shares, it's just,
for sure.
It's really helpful, and it's helpful for more people than just you.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you, ladies. And
Thank you.
for everybody watching, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, we have a full COVID-19 resource page over on freedmarcroft.com. You can also check us out on Facebook. This video will be on YouTube. And if we can be of help, it's 860-560-8160. And we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.